Hello, saints of God. This is Pastor Juliel Omaivboje with Widest and Miracles of God's Hand Ministries. I wanted to share something that God spoke to me a while ago in my personal studies. I titled it, Do Not Be Bent on Doing It Your Way. And I'm sure I'm speaking to myself too. So we're going to be coming from 1 Samuel chapter 8, from verse 1 to 10, and Proverbs 3, verse 5 to 6. We all know what Proverbs 3, 5 to 6 says. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not unto your understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. And the story from 1 Samuel chapter 8, from verse 1 to 10, talks about how the children of Israel were demanding for a king after Samuel was, becoming old, nearly, becoming old, and he made his sons, Joel and Abijah, priest over there, to minister over there, not essentially priest, but to help him because he was getting old. So I'll read the story very quickly so that we can grasp it completely. 1 Samuel 8, from verse 1, it reads, Now it came to pass, when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Israel. The name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second Abijah. They were judges in Beersheba. But his sons did not walk in his way. They turned aside after dishonor gain, took bribes, and perverted justice. Then all the elders of Israel gathered together and came to Samuel at Ramah and said to him, Look, you are old, and your sons do not walk in your ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the other nations. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, Give us a king to judge us. So Samuel prayed to the Lord, and the Lord said to Samuel, Hear the voice of the people in all that they say to you, for they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me, because that I should reign over them, according to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt, even so to this day, with which they have forsaken me and served other gods. So they are doing to you also. Now therefore hear their voice. However, you shall solemnly forewarn them and show them the behavior of the king whom we reign over them. Verse 10 says, So Samuel told all the words of the Lord to the people who asked him for a king. Amen. It becomes dangerous when we feel that what God is doing in our lives is not enough, that we need a man to take the place of God in our life. This is what I'm seeing here. Samuel was the king. Admittedly, that his children were not doing well. Obviously, they failed. They didn't follow the footsteps of their father. They were taking bribes. They were not judging with justice. They were unruly in the whole land, and it displeased the people. The people had a choice. I mean, their demand was legitimate. That I should give them a king because Samuel was growing old. So, but the message here is that we have to be careful what we ask for. They were leaning onto their understanding because they didn't like what was going on. A lot of the time, God permits things to happen. If they had gone to God and asked God, please change the children of Samuel, or do something, or test Samuel, find some other people to help your children, or, to take the place of your children, instead of asking for a king, because they didn't recognize God as their king. The children of Samuel were not the king of Israel. They were not the priest. They were just like, had the opportunity because their father was the priest and he was going old. So they've been with him, see all that he was doing. They're helping him to be judge, because Samuel was a judge, a priest, and a priest as well. They couldn't function in the area of the priesthood, but as judges, they were not doing well. And this is the area that they would have asked for, but they demanded for a king. God is the King of kings and the Lord of lords. Everywhere you are today, God is the King and the King of kings and the Lord of your life. So be careful what you demand for. Do not ask, to do it your way. The children of Israel wanted it their way when they asked the Lord, when they asked Samuel, give us a king. They didn't ask Samuel, look at what your children are doing. Well, they did tell Samuel that this is what your children do, but they didn't acknowledge the place of God as king in their lives. Amen. They didn't go to God to ask. So instead of the fear, when fear and anxiety comes against us, a lot of the times when we are afraid, we try to, run to men. And we become afraid. We do things that we're not supposed to do. It's good that in such time we can pray to God, come into God's closet, into your closet, and pray to God and ask God for help. Also, trust God in the plan of your life. Trust the plan of your life to God. A lot of the time we hold on so tightly, we think we know it. We are depending on our understanding that way. And I think that is detrimental to us. The Bible is very clear about it in Proverbs 3 that we should not lean onto our understanding but trust God. So do not hasten also of God's plan to have it your way. A lot of the time we want to haste out of the process that God has permitted for us to walk through so that we can get completely all that he has for us, so we can learn that character, so that we can learn that patience, so we can learn that perseverance. A lot of the time we want to hurry out of it. We don't want to be there. So we have to learn to stay with God and let him perfect all that he's doing in our lives. And don't be better doing it your way, but don't lean on to your understanding, but trust God completely in the plan of your life. So I want to encourage you today to hand over the plans of your life to God and trust him that he has them in his hands and he will take care of you. God bless you. Until I see you again next week. Stay blessed.